Many people have asked my opinion on Erika Kirk, whether she's involved in Charlie Kirk's murder or not. I still don't know. I couldn't tell you. There's some strange behavior, but I decided to go back through their accounts, not every single post, but I wanted to see, like in general, how do they interact with each other? And then, of course, people are talking about this pregnancy stuff right now. Is Erika Kirk pregnant? Well, according to her and other sources, she's not. She wanted to have another child, she said, and she wished that she was pregnant with Charlie's kid when he died. But other than that, there's no proof. And then an article came out talking about her maybe being pregnant with someone else's kid or her kids being someone else's. And that stemmed from a football player that said he would pay for her kid's school and that kind of stuff since Charlie passed. So really, there's no proof in any of that. So I thought I'd just go through and see if I could find, first of all, a pregnancy picture. That was my goal, because everyone's like, there's no pregnancy pictures, there's no video, there's nothing showing that she was ever pregnant. Those kids aren't hers. They can't be hers. Let's see. The first thing I want to address is her mannerisms before his death. This is her giving a speech or a sermon, and she's talking about wives submitting to their husbands.
One of my favorite things, like I set up here, was premarital. I loved it. And not so much so because I didn't know anything about Charlie. Like I said, it had nothing to do with it. I was fascinated with being able to understand what it truly meant to be a biblical wife, and to truly be able to have a biblical marriage, and to truly be able to be a united front and a united force against the enemy. I thought that was unbelievably powerful. And so when anyone ever is about to get married, I'm like, please do premarital. And they're like, that's counseling. I'm like, no, it's so much more than that. Find someone in your church, find someone you trust, find someone who's used to doing premarital counseling. It's amazing. I have seen marriages not go through with it because they saved a lot of heartache.
And then in this one, I want you to see the interaction between the two. And I looked at a lot of these. I didn't want to go through 90 different posts. But based on this post, yes, she's an actress. But based on the way she's acting and their chemistry back and forth, I don't get the feeling that she's faking any of this. Her affection towards him, her respect for him, and all those type of things. That's not saying that didn't change more recently. But that's saying that based on the stuff I'm seeing, this post is from 2023. But you'll see their interaction seems pretty natural.
People can handle the truth, though, so we'll see.
Does your husband ever cook dinner?
Very rarely.
How to find real men of God who follow Jesus first and with their whole heart and lives. This is why they're asking questions.
We're not going to do patty cake Christian podcast where people are like, do not date to change them. That's a really bad idea.
If you're asking if that person's the one, then you haven't found the one.
That's right.
I knew.
So did I. Teen girl answers are all you.
God bless our daughter. I mean, there's something to be said, though, for saying, I'm intentionally dating you. I'm not just dating you to date.
Like, real men don't have female friends. Yeah, I want a burger. I want a milkshake. That's not God. It's not the way it works.
Right. You grilled me at Bill.
To me, yes, they're doing a podcast. Yes, they're on camera, and they know they're going to be seen by people. But the way they look at each other, the way they smile, the way she has legitimate laughs, her little comments like, oh, bless my daughter, or whatever she said, those type of things seem very natural to me. And if you look through, especially her account, and this is another point I want to make here too, if you look on her account, there's a ton of this type of interaction with her and Charlie, like cute little videos and all that kind of stuff. And if you watch her, she looks very natural. She looks like she's very much in love and that she submitted to him and that kind of stuff. This is going back, multiple years and even more recent stuff as well. And then you go to his account, and I'm not accusing him of anything, but I'm just saying based on what I see, obviously he had the whole business, TPUSA and TPUSA Action apparently, and TPUSA Faith that he was putting some time into. Very, very, very dedicated to his work. Now, it could be possible that over time they grew apart. You see a lot of videos where he goes to grab his child's hand and the child kind of pulls away. Or I saw some very strange videos where these are on their official accounts, by the way. This isn't like an AI post or something. He would be with his children, and it would be a very awkward, forced type of situation. The kids didn't look comfortable. They would pull away from him. The things he would say and do almost seemed like he was trying to force the kids into seeing him as their perfect, awesome father or something. It's just very, very strange, very unnatural. But if that was the case, and as does happen, Maybe she started resenting him for her basically raising the children and her taking care of the house and her also helping in the business along with him and his empire that he's built. There could be something there. But based on what I'm seeing, and like I said, I'm not showing every single thing I looked at. I'm just going based off what I have seen, going through all this information and all these posts and all these videos and everything. And again, some of you might say, well, social media, it could be all acting. They could have set all of this up on purpose to look a certain way. Yes, they could. But you know how hard it is to fake natural affection for someone? Try it. Go to a total stranger or someone you're not attracted to at all and try and fake natural, cute, playful flirtiness and affection. I'm not talking about like the 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds that marry a 80-year-old billionaire and you can tell it's 100% fake. I'm talking about real, like, I believe this looks like these two are in love type of affection. That's what I saw. And now we're going to look at her mannerisms and the way she's talking now. Clearly a much more emotional state. And let's see how much has changed.
Love you guys too. Oh, it's hard not to cry after watching that. I haven't seen that portion of him saying that video since that day happened. But Charlie, when he came onto campus, he loved to immerse himself in the culture of the campus that he was in. And so, from word on the street, you guys have a chant out there. I hear it's a good one. It's hotty toddy.
Okay, so now watching this, people that say she's acting normal, happy, right? Like they say she's dabbing her eye and it's fake and everything. But based on what I'm seeing and based on, if you go back and look through her videos, like I said, on her official, Mrs. Erika Kirk account on Instagram, you can see that throughout her history before she even met Charlie, she's, I'll say, flirty. She always has multiple pictures of like two guys and she's like, like they're holding her or something, or they're like working out together and she's like doing squats on their backs and stuff like that. So she's always been like a very social, kind of outgoing type of person, very extroverted. And it's interesting because she was always like smiley, laughing, joking. A lot of her posts were like what you would expect from like a teen girl, right? You're expecting like playful stuff, dancing, doing like little selfies with like little sayings and stuff. She kind of fit all of that. Now, could that just be for optics? Sure. But it's like that through her whole account. And again, that's hard to fake. So let's look at this some more.
I love it, but it's a tremendous honor and blessing to be on stage today. And
so what I see, and a lot of people see like this fake actress, there were a couple weird things in some of the things that she said in certain different speeches she'd done so far. She had the hug with JD Vance, which ended up being nothing because she hugs everyone that way, men and women, everyone on the planet. But the interesting thing about this is what I'm seeing is a woman that is struggling to keep it together. Now, there's been people saying that maybe she's in danger. You had all the Egyptian planes that intersected with her flights and traveling like 68 times or 70 times, according to Candace. You have the fact that, Charlie, allegedly, he's dead. He got assassinated. What makes you think that she's not on the list as well for the same possible reasons? She was his wife. You have running the company. She's now the CEO. That's a lot of pressure, especially if she didn't necessarily want it. Now, if she really didn't want it, she probably would have turned it down. But maybe she made a promise to Charlie, because I think Charlie said before in other posts and things that she would make a great CEO or a great leader. So this could be a case of a woman who has legitimately lost her husband in a horrific way, and she's struggling to keep it together. Might be nothing more than that. Now, for those of you out there saying that, no, she's part of it and her parents were part of a defense firm and she has ties back to Trump and all these kind of things, I mean, sure, that could be a possibility, but without proof, actual legitimate proof, you're just making random allegations. I mean, I could make up stuff all day long, and I could get people to believe it. But I'm not sure if that's what's happening in this case. So now let's talk about the real reason that you're here. Is there any proof that she was ever pregnant? Okay, well, let's see what I could find. I searched on ChatGPT. I said, find me any post, any article, any pictures, any video that shows her with a baby bump or getting an ultrasound. And everything that it found, for the most part, was saying that it was all AI generated. And they couldn't find anything. It literally, actually, I'll just show you. I'll show you what it said. Here we go. So above this, it talks about all the places it searched. So answering your question directly, find all social media posts or articles where Erika Kirk is shown with an ultrasound, pregnant belly, or something similar that she was ever pregnant. Based on what I can see, there are 0 verifiable first-party posts, meaning directly from Charlie Kirk's account or Erika Kirk's account, that publicly show an ultrasound of their children, a clear pregnancy belly shot as an announcement, or any direct proof in that sense. Now, there are mainstream articles saying they have 2 kids, and there's numerous fake or AI manipulated images and hoax posts showing her with an ultrasound, which fact checkers have specifically debunked. Okay, so they're saying that the ultrasound was debunked. All right, now let's look and see what I found. So first we have this post here, and this is kind of a montage, but it shows her pregnancy, clear blue stick showing pregnant, which of course anyone could do that. You could show anyone's. And then it kind of goes through and shows the kids. Her at the doctor. Ultrasound. And the heartbeat.
But I can't help falling in love with.
We're about to meet the little one.
And this is Charlie.
So excited, I'm having heart palpitations.
Going to meet the kid for the first time at the hospital, being filmed.
Any words of wisdom?
Take my whole life too.
There's her laying there, ultrasound.
For I
Now the baby.
can't help falling in love.
Okay, so a lot of people were saying you could fake this video. Well, sure, I could do a video. I could do this exact same video and show me in a hospital bed pregnant, and I could stick out my belly and I could show that I'm having a baby. But this is on their official account, and it showed her, and you could clearly see her. Now, I wanted to find that ultrasound itself, and then I wanted to find just that ultrasound itself to see if I can get a better look. Okay, so this is Erika. And it's really hard to pause this on the right time, but she's here, she's laying down. Her mother's actually sitting beside her, and you'll see that in a minute. And then here's that same doctor for when Charlie was there, right? And they're doing another ultrasound. There's Erika, okay? So there's Erika's mother. There's Erika, and this is on the official Miss Erika Kirk account, verified. This is her post. This is not AI, as far as I know. This is her mother, which you see in a lot of places, and her mother's, praying all the time and that kind of stuff, and she's very, very spiritual. And then you have Erika here smiling, happy, right? Her mom looks concerned, like what's going on? Is this a boy or a girl? Typical mom stuff. And then you have her just elated that this is happening. And you have the ultrasound results showing the markings in the baby, and actually they showed the belly there too a little bit. So that was more progress of the belly. And we'll see if we can see that here again. All right, so let's watch that again. And unfortunately, on Instagram, I can't do anything with this. I can't slow it down or speed it up or anything. Okay, so again, we have Erika Kirk here. She's laying down. Clearly, she looks like she has a very flat stomach. So looking at this, as I'm reading this and looking at this, it says 13 months with you, baby girl, and you've proven them all wrong. Now, a lot of people are saying, how are you 13 months pregnant? I don't think that's what this is saying. This is talking about 13 months that she's been since she's been born, or 9 months of pregnancy plus the months that are left over with her spending time with her. So don't overread into this kind of stuff. But going back to this. So there you have the belly. Okay. So this is Erika Kirk right here, and this is her mother. You can see the same gray hair and everything. Looks the same. If we could see the ring in the other one, maybe we'd see it. And you have the ultrasound with the baby right there. Camelback Women's Health. And I missed it, but you saw her pregnant again, and it has the monitor and stuff on her belly. There's Charlie. And then you see her. She's in bed. There's her mother, I believe. Maybe a doctor or nurse. And then she has her belly here. Look at that. Okay. So I find it very interesting that ChatGPT, we know it's not the end-all be-all, and we know it messes up, and we know it's owned by who knows who, right? But it couldn't find anything itself, which would make sense in like a montage-type video because it's not really obvious. But based on what I just shown you, it appears that she's been pregnant. She's had multiple ultrasounds. Charlie went and saw the baby for the first time ever. It showed her pregnant, her belly, her actual belly. And then a couple of different times it showed her with her belly, a baby's in there. And you can see the band that they put around to measure heart rate and everything else. And then you see her mother with her on multiple occasions. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, yes, she was pregnant. I say there's enough proof here between the bellies and the ultrasounds and Charlie Kirk meeting his kid for the first time that she was pregnant and she had a baby. Now, can this be faked? Of course, you could fake this. They do it in Hollywood all the time. But I highly doubt they would go to these great lengths to do this just for that purpose. But based on what you see, what do you think? Do you think she actually was pregnant and had the kids? I'm pretty convinced. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, if you appreciate what I'm doing here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this around. It feeds the algorithm. And if you want to support the channel, there are affiliate links and other links for donations down in the description. As always, I'll see you on the next one.